for ShtanUdachi, because mid-range Hunter, classically one of the worst matchups for anything Paladin, one of the worst matchups for Reno Lock as well,
yeah.
so could be a big deal.
I have to agree, like, if Call of the Wild was still 8 mana, then I would have been like, yeah, well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, and
Right.
that's definitely the right thing to do, but just like, it feels considerably worse to me, but still, that Hunter deck, pretty powerful with the kill commands and all that. The Reno Warlock that ShtanUdachi is running especially would struggle a lot, as well as the Rogue. Rogue also has a bad matchup against the Hunter, regardless of the mana cost of Call of the Wild. By the way, I have to say that I'm a huge fan of ShtanUdachi's Malygos Rogue play. He actually kind of, for me, that's kind of the deck that I know him for the most.
Interesting.
He reached rank 1 legend with this Malygos list when it was not really a thing, and nobody else was playing it. Like, it was unheard of around 2 months ago for somebody to be playing a Malygos Rogue and do so well as he has done.
Yeah, and he has pretty much the dream opening when you're going second here against Zoo. After RDU led with the Flame Imp, he had the backstab. Now, pretty much any 2-mana minion that gets played is going to just die to coin SI7 agent here. So this draw from ShtanUdachi puts him on Dream Street against the Zoo here. But if anyone is equipped to fight their way out of this situation, it is RDU, because I know he considers, and with good reason based on evidence, that he is perhaps the strongest Zoo player in the world.
Yep, and Zoo Warlock, I was talking with Firebat a little bit earlier today, and Firebat was saying that this Zoo Warlock might be the weak spot in RDU's lineup, and it might not be that well positioned in the meta right now. ShtanUdachi with such an amazing starting hand here, though. RDU's hand is not bad either, like having an Imp Gang boss on turn 3, having another one in his hand. Maybe if he finds Soulfire to go with it, could get something done.
Yeah, we've seen this situation time and time again in these HCT events where players have brought decks that they are very loyal to. We've seen Freeze Mage loyalists, Rogue loyalists, in this case a Zoo loyalist in RDU, and they will point to their win rate statistics on their tracking programs and say, hey, this deck's insane for me, but playing a high-level tournament against high-level opposition is a very different story to playing on ladder. And there's a reason why you're the only person that's bringing one of these decks quite often. And we'll see if RDU's decision to bring Zoo here is going to come back to bite him. But in this situation right here, it's not looking too pretty. But there are a lot of decks that would struggle to beat this curve from a Rogue.
Yeah, they're really... Oh, that's Rogue. The Rogue draw is like so brutal. It's just turn 2 comboed Assai, turn 3 comboed Assai. So hard to fight from behind us, just like this. Are you picking up another Direwolf Alpha? That's not too helpful. With this 5 mana, all those 2 drops, it's not very smooth on the mana. Those don't really help him fight back.
Yeah, it's not looking promising, but if RDU can make a push here, perhaps take out one of the 3/3s with one of the Direwolves, get perhaps a Lucky Knife on the Azure Drake, and start to create more tension on the board. Shtan has now run dry in his hand. There is not a lot happening unless he draws some useful stuff over the next couple of turns here. So this turn feels like a window for RDU that will be difficult for him to identify. His only clue really is the hand size of ShtanUdachi, hoping that he can try and outvalue him if he can tidy up this board, but he needs to find a way to make a push back in the other direction right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there was a way to play maybe the Darkside Librarian with the Juggler and just hope to cycle into a Soulfire to fight back, but I'm not sure if he's that desperate. Because with... No. I mean, kind of trying to just dig deeper in his deck, but that still takes that one.
There it is!
Oh, he gets
there
the juggle
it is!
He wanted. Yeah. So let's see where the other one goes. That's not bad either.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they kept hitting minions and one of them took out the Drake, that is a pretty strong outcome for RDU here. So there's definitely 2 priority targets on the board now that have to go down, but Shtan, as I said, needed to draw some gas, and Drake picking up a Tomb Pillager, I'm pretty sure that qualifies.
I don't know if that could have been any better. At 5 mana, no play available. Oh, Azure Drake. Oh. Let's do it. Azure Drake on curve. Not only that, but he also draws into the Tomb Pillager, so... from here on out, it's going to be very hard. But RDU picking up a Silverware Golem, and there's a nice synergy there with that Darkside Librarian. He's also able to empty his hand first with that Direwolf Alpha to make sure that the Silverware Golem gets on the board for free.
Yeah, and Silverware Golem itself actually adds a new kind of dimension of positioning with Zoo, because Silverware Golem, of course, is always summoned on the far right-hand side of the board, which I think is what RDU was thinking about there for the first 20 seconds or so of this turn, because there was definitely no consideration of any other turn. This turn essentially played itself in terms of which cards you were playing, but he wanted to make sure that his positioning with the Direwolf Alpha after the Golem spawn was just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, nothing really else to consider there, like you said. Here, ShtanUdachi, he has his opponent down to fairly low, but that Direwolf Alpha is just such a high priority target to clear. RDU with a Dark Peddler, if this gives him a Soulfire, it would be so good.
Yeah, Soulfire is absolutely huge here, but just already having that Abusive Sergeant, and, you know, to no surprise to me, Abusive Sergeant is still essentially core in Zoo decks, despite being a 1-1. It's such a powerful effect. You know, at 2-1, I would argue that it was perhaps the best card in the deck.
Yeah.
And now, even at 1-1, it's still incredibly powerful. So
definitely very strong. I like the Mortal Coil pickup here. Being able to now finish off that Tomb Villager very easily. Another Abusive. Oh, that makes it kind of tempting to just go face, because you're going to miss out on 7. Oh, Soulfire. Alright, I guess 7 to face and Soulfire is Drake.
7 to face is looking good to me, but now with that additional coin, if Shtan can pick up just one extra burst spell here, he actually has a reasonably quick clock of his own. So this might come down to a straight-up old-fashioned race situation here. We'll see what Shtan can pick up over the next couple of turns. Shiv is fine. I think you have to cycle it now, though, right? As opposed to holding on.
I think so, too. Like, there's so many... Like, you still have 5 mana available, so almost anything that you find from the Shiv card draw, you will still be able to play. Well, it's like one of the worst things, but I would imagine that he's still gonna cast it here, because it is 3 mana to play that Silverware back.
It's a reasonable turn to draw it. It's usually not a very strong card against Zoo, but Silverware Golem is honestly one of the best cards to sap, because it's a very bad card to spend 3 mana on. You know, if you sap a Councilman or an Imp Gang boss, for example, they're happy to spend 3 mana on playing that again.
Well, not spending 3 mana there.
Wow.
RDU gets the Doom card. Not too lucky though, because he is fairly deep into his deck at this point, so it was about time to start drawing those. But still very good draw. Gets a silver back to the back on the board, and ShtanUdachi sap. It did still gonna heal him for 3, so it wasn't completely worthless, although not as good as he would have hoped. So
this could all hinge on this draw here. Shtan needs one extra piece of help. That is lethal next turn. Malygos, coin, Sinister Strike, prep of this will end the game next turn. Does Shtan hold on here? Is it his highest win rate play to say, you do not have 4 damage? Because asking a Zoo to do 4 is not the hardest thing in the world.
Oh man, it's such a difficult situation, because there is a chance that he would also pick up another damage card from the top of his deck to be able to end the game if he chose to eviscerate the 3/3 here. If he doesn't do the eviscerate on the Silverware Golem, it's much more likely that he will die next time, because there's one more Soulfire, one more Silverware Golem. He's going to eviscerate. Yeah, so he is not going to have the lethal setup anymore, unless RDU chooses to go face with everything.
So let's think about what was remaining in RDU's deck, because Shtan knows the list exactly. He's seen one Soulfire gone, he's seen both Abusive Sergeants gone, he's seen one Doomguard gone. So Defender of Argus would need help. It would need a buff from another card. The only cards that kill you directly are Soulfire #2 and Doomguard #2.
Yeah,
so
both Direwolves
that's
are
true
played.
as well, yeah.
Both Abusives were played. So I think it's pretty much just, like realistically, it's pretty much just one Soulfire, one Doomguard.
Yeah, personally, I think I favor taking the risk there. I feel like, you know, you're single Azure Drake on board, and then looking at the rest of your hand, it didn't feel like you're going to be able to fight long-term on the board against Zoo. So
yeah, I'm trying to like refrain from trying to go that would have been the play, because we can see that if ShtanUdachi